there's a sharp angle from the tie block up to the saddle, and the best way to get the strings in, especially the bass string because it's stiff, is to just bend a little hook into the very tip of it. Then you can feed it through, and if you keep the hook angled upward, when it comes through the hole, it just naturally deflects right up. So pull it through and feed it through the second hole, again keeping the bent part angled upward. And there it goes. Then tuck the first, well, the end of the string under the loop that was formed. So just tuck it in like that, pull it tight, and then you can wrap it around the tuner. So here, we'll do this one more time with another string and the camera in a different place. Now I'm going to do the E string. So I'm going to just use my thumb and induce that little hook there. Hopefully that shows. Now I'll feed it through the secondary hole, and you can see it just popped right up. And then feed it through the primary hole. You can tell which one is supposed to go off toward the peg head end because it has a bigger chamfer. So popped up there. Tuck that in, and there we go. So when you're all done putting the 7 strings on, this is how they should look on the bridge. The windings or wrappings around the tie block all kind of point toward the center. If you have one that's pointing the other way, it means your string is going to be way off to one side. Obviously the symmetry is better on a 6-string bridge than a 7-string bridge, but I always do it this way, where the bass strings wrap in one direction and the treble strings go the other way. I just think it looks nice. So I thought I should point that out. Probably the easiest thing to do until you get used to it is just change one string at a time, and then you can look at the one right next to it and know which hole to feed the string through. And one last thing, sorry. I don't know if you noticed this, but I like to tie a little knot in the end of all of the nylon strings, and that way if there's any slippage when they're pulling through and tightening up, the knot just kind of jams against the back end of the loop. You don't have to worry about the strings whipping out and damaging anything. You can see actually on the E string, the knot did pull right up to that loop, and it's jammed against the tie block, so it's not going to go anywhere, and it doesn't hurt anything to have that knot there. But usually I'll keep the guitar tuned up for a couple days, and then if the knots are still hanging out in the open like that, just nip the strings off like you normally would, because if the strings haven't slipped by then, they're not going to. Okay, now that's it for sure.